The time has come. Scott Cronick right now on our stage, and we have friends and family of Scott right over here, and they're not speaking for some reason.
An acclaimed journalist for more than 25 years, you read his headlines about all of the great things that happen in South Jersey. Now hear the voices behind the stories, along with the newsmakers that make it happen. Business, entertainment, food, sports, like you never heard it before. Off the Press with Scott Cronick.
All right. Today is Tuesday. Welcome to Off the Press with Scott Cronick. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day as we go behind the scenes of all the great things going on in South Jersey. Today we'll have a fun show. We are going to hang out with a good friend of mine who's also a great friend of Atlantic City, and anybody who knows him, Ky'shawn Wyman. He is just a good dude, and he does all kind of stuff, whether he's on the technical side of things, the musical side of things, or the charitable side of things. I've just learned to really appreciate this young man, and all he's doing. He's so aggressive and so what's the right word? Inspirational. I think he's just a good guy who's setting a great example for a lot of people, and I really wanted to have him here for the first hour. So later on, we will talk about, Ky'shawn Wyman will be with us in the first hour. Later on, we are going to talk to the good folks of the Food Bank, Community Food Bank of New Jersey, in Egg Harbor Township, where I will be broadcasting live from on Thursday for our night of 300,000 meals. That's right, for every... believe it or not, for every dollar that you donate to the cause, we're able to get 3 meals out of that. So hopefully the whole idea is to raise $100,000 if you do the math. That took me a while to do that, though, Ky'shawn. It took me a long time, but I finally got it. Night of 300,000 meals. Between that and the Chefs Association of South Jersey, they are going to be there, and David Goldstein will be with me today. Also, Joe Sheridan, who is the director of the Academy of Culinary Arts in Mays Landing, should be calling in, and then Tarina from the Food Bank as well. Hopefully she will be giving us a call too, as we tell you all about it, how to get tickets, also of course what we're going to do that night, and where does that money go. And with federal funding having all kind of issues and stuff like that, donating to the Community Food Bank is more important than ever. And then Kai Carlin will join us at some point, but Ky'shawn, welcome, buddy.
What's going on, Scott? How are you, man?
It's long overdue. We've talked about you coming on the show for a long time, but we finally made it happen. And it happened fast. It was like, I saw you, and I'm like, we're doing this.
Yes,
because I keep talking about it, and I hate that we talk about it, and we're just going to do it. So luckily I had an opening, and you are here. So thank you, buddy.
No, absolutely. It was a pleasure to be here, Scott. Thanks for having me, man. Yes, we're well overdue, but, we're making it happen, and we got so much going on this year, and I'm excited for everything that's coming our way.
That's great. That's awesome. So if you want to ask Ky'shawn any questions, or if you know him and you want to just say hi, he is here, 609-927-1100 till 5 o'clock. Ky'shawn, so, I think that, of course, we have to start at the beginning, and people that don't know you, who are you, man? Tell people who you are. Did you grow up? And I'm going to learn about you, because I don't know a ton other than, some conversations that we have had along the way, but I don't know a lot of depth about you. So I'm interested in getting to know you better. So did you grow up in Atlantic City?
I grew up in Atlantic City, but I actually, elementary, I went to school in Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
Then my 8th grade year, I went to school in Pleasantville for my 8th grade year. But then after that, I went to Charter Tech High School in Summers Point. So I went there, Charter Tech High School to Performing Arts.
That's where I live.
I was actually a double major. which is unheard of. I was a double major in high school.
I never even knew they had majors in high school.
I was in information technology program, but also instrumental music. So all throughout my career there at high school, I was in the instrumental program where we did so many different shows, but audio engineering was my focus. So still to this day, I'm in audio engineering, mixing and mastering and making people sound great, like on the radio. So, the process that I take on today, I've pretty much been doing ever since I was a kid. In some people's eyes, I'm still a kid. I'm 32 years old for people that didn't know that. But in high school, it was set up in a way where it's getting you ready for the real world. So a lot of times we would do shows at, Carnegie Hall and different places where we actually travel, and we set up the sound and ran the sound. We did a lot down at Margate Pack Center, where we did a lot of different shows, winter concerts, summer concerts for the school. So that's why, and I have to mention all of these things that a lot of people don't know, because sometimes people see you and they just think you started, they just woke up one day and you just start doing these things. The things I've been doing, I've been doing since I was 10 years old.
Wow. So you were always like, were you in a musical family, or were you or a technological, like what's as far
really
as
crazy.
Where did you get inspired?
It's really crazy because in my family, in my immediate family, I'm the only person in information technology in the cybersecurity world, and I'm the only person that is really like the DJ.
Yeah.
But I've always been around music. All my family loves music. My mom always played music, so I learned to love music. And the funny thing is, I learned early on that IT and music go hand in hand. And the way I realized that is because
anymore it does. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
The way I realized that it was, when I was 10 years old, when Circus City was around.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I love it.
So when Circus City was around, my mom took me in the store. She's like, "What is it that you want for your birthday?" Because you get, I've always been good in school, so I always got what I wanted.
I miss Circuit City.
Don't
you miss it?
I
love Circuit City.
City.
I always liked Circuit City over Best Buy for some reason.
Absolutely. So Circuit City was selling this setup. It was 2 vinyl turntable platforms with a mixer. And I said, "Mom, I want to be a DJ. I want this setup."
At 10?
At 10.
Okay.
For my 10th birthday, I got a set of turntables. And, of course, my mom is not a technical person, so I had to learn how to use it.
Of
I
course.
had to, set it up. And in that...
But that's the fun part when you're 10.
That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And she also bought me a computer. It was a Dell computer. I'll never forget it. And my computer stopped working. So my computer stopped working, and I told my mom, we called up Dell, to get this computer fixed, and they gave us this outrageous price. This is when Dell was giving you the repair disc that they used to sell with your computer. You get these discs that you had to order to repair the computer, and it was just too high. So at that time, I'm like looking up things, and it was AOL. So I got a CD.
Holy mackerel.
So I got a CD from they used to have them at the pharmacies. They had the CD at the pharmacy that gives you so many hours with AOL, right?
Wow.
So I got AOL. I got the
You
internet.
don't seem old enough to have gone through this, but
it's crazy.
Yeah, you're only 32, right?
I'm 32, man.
It seems like that's a world lifetime ago, but yeah.
But in all that, all my friends are older than me. My friends range from like 40, 50, 60. I'm around
old.
I'm around older people. So
anyway, you end up.
Yeah. So anyway, I wound up fixing this computer, and I felt in love with that. The fact that I could fix it, and they were trying to charge me all this money, and I'm like, well, I could do this. So I was the person taking my toys apart, putting them back together, taking my computer apart, putting it back together. So a lot of things that I learned from being hands-on, and I just fell in love with music.
Yeah.
And IT. So once I found out how to fix my computer, I got back to creating music on that particular computer, setting up my turntable, setting up my DJ setup, and I started DJing. It started in the house, more around the house, and then once I got to high school in performing arts, I started DJing at the school. So the way the program was designed is you get certain amount of lab hours after school. So
Now, were there a lot of other guys trying to do, or were you the
No.
guy? Like
No.
you had your own niche.
I had my own
because
niche.
you don't know if there's other people trying to get in on your territory, but you had your own. You
I
had
had my own
you had a
field.
clear runway.
I went to school with a lot of great musicians, like Devin Sheck, those guys, Isn't It Always, the band that you always see me with.
Right.
Those guys were great musicians, and I'm a musician myself. I play piano, but it was something that's special about DJing, and it started really in elementary school. I had a friend that used to always have these house parties. His dad was Jamaican. It was like a Jamaican cultural thing that they used to have these parties all the time, and I used to sit there and watch the DJ. I'm like, this guy really controls the room. He's controlling how these people feel. He's controlling what they do next. I've seen a DJ have a person into the room sad, and when they left, they're the happiest people in the world. So I fell in love with that portion of it as well. But also, just because you're a DJ doesn't mean you're a technical person. So I always found myself helping people out with their computers and things of that nature. So I start studying these two things at the same time: music and IT.
Yeah.
So it's just something that always stuck with me, and I just study a lot, Scott. I really do. I study a lot.
Cool.
My resume, I have over 38 certificates, just surrounding IT and the different things that I do in the IT world. So that's where the start really started.
That's pretty
man.
wild, huh? And then you go to high school, obviously. So did you cement yourself as the guy that everybody called when they needed a DJ?
Yes,
Like, when did you see that happening? And how long did it take you to get good at it?
So, starting in elementary, every party's not going to be the best party because you're like still trying to figure it out, and I didn't really have someone that was directly helping me with any of this stuff until I got a little older. So in high school, being as though it was a performing arts, I was able to really showcase my art in a special way because I was surrounded with other people that love what I do. But the difference of what I did was, these guys are creating music, which I also did as well. I created music as well. Like in school, we'll work with the film department and creating background checks for the movies, for the commercials and the things that we're doing. So it learned me early how to really put together a team and work as a team and get projects done and meet deadlines because, like I said, the school was really preparing us for the real world. But in high school, I'm going around, I'm surrounded with teenagers, right? Everybody has a sweet 16. Everybody has a sweet 15. So now, because I'm the popular guy at school now that's DJing the school dances, and we would get paid for the school dances. So the way it would work is I would DJ after school and do the school dance, but that money would go into an account. So when I graduated with a bunch of money in my account that went to me as a scholarship. So I graduated with a lot of scholarships, for school and different things of that nature. So it started off with me doing a lot of 16 birthday parties. So I was 16, 17, doing other people's 16 and 17-year-old birthday parties, and that's where it really started. I started doing all the, school events and things of that nature. And when I turned 18, I got my own entertainment company where I had to have the right paperwork to even work with the school districts and to be able to, do the proms. So in high school, as a freshman, I did the junior and senior prom. So I was not only popular in my class group, but also the groups that were ahead of me. So these are the people that's going off to college. These are the individuals that's going off to just do different trades and do different things as an adult. So these are people that remember me and always reach back. Hey, man, you remember you did that school dance?
Yeah.
That was cool. I see you at this party. So, word of mouth is one of the best promotions that would just never change.
That's wild, huh?
So it's just, some of the people that I went to high school with or, graduated before me, some of these people are executives. These people are, went away to school, became an executive. So I never forget people, and I try to treat people all
No, dude, you're
the
so
same
respectful,
way.
so great, so respectful, so amazing, and I love that about you. And all right, we're gonna take a break, but tell people. So right now you have an IT company, or
Yes.
I'll tell you what. Hold that thought. And then we'll tell you how to get in touch with Ky'shawn after this, because you're probably wondering why you'd want to get in touch with Ky'shawn. Well, you can DJ. Number one, you're looking for a great DJ. Ky'shawn is so kind. He donates his services for our MBCA and other charitable services, including our August 7th mixer, which is going to be at the Hard Rock this year at the Pavilion. He did last year's Island Water Park, so thank you for
Absolutely,
that.
man.
But how do people get in touch with? What's the best way to get hold of you for a DJ gig? And you'll find out what else he can do for you after this break. But what's the best way?
The best way really is, I'll let you pick the best way. If you type my name into Google, Ky'shawn Wyman, and that's Ky'shawn.
Is that how you pronounce it, Ky'shawn?
It's Ky'shawn.
I'm sorry.
But
I've been
so many
saying
people
Ky'shawn.
pronounce it that way.
You
and
should
it's
correct
okay.
me, man. I'm sorry.
Yep. So it's actually Ky'shawn, and it's Ky'shawn. Last name is Wyman, right? So Ky'shawn Wyman. If you type that in Google, you'll find every social media platform that I'm attached to.
It's true.
But also you'll find that my stage name, professionally known as, is IamYoungHitta.
IamYoungHitta.
So that's
right.
my social media handle. That's my Facebook name, and I'm very active on my social media. So we'll definitely get a response. But also, I have an email account that you can use and reach me at for whatever service you're looking for, and that's WymanKy'shawn@gmail.com.
Perfect. We'll be right back.
See you soon.
You're listening to Off the Press with Scott Cronick on News Talk 1400 and 92.3 WOND.
All right. We are back live here with Ky'shawn. Right?
Yes, sir. Ky'shawn.
I got it right. Ky'shawn Wyman is with us. We're going to talk to him in a second. Don't forget, Island Water Park is open. Spring break hours, so some extra days and hours to go check out at Showboat, where Ky'shawn is often the DJ.
Yes, sir.
You can go check out IamYoungHitta when he's over there.
Yes, sir.
But don't forget the Island Water Park. They're open always Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but sometimes they have some extra days open like they did this week. Go check it out. 11 thrilling water slides, 4 great restaurants, 3 lively bars, access to the world's largest arcade. Your water park adventure is just a splash away at islandwaterparkac.com. I don't even read that. That's right up top. Pretty good, right?
Pretty good, man.
And then Ky'shawn, you can go again. Google him, and you will find him either as IamYoungHitta or Ky'shawn Wyman, and it'll come up for sure. We only have a short segment here because of ABC News. When we were talking off the air, you decided to go. A lot of kids are faced with that dilemma, and I think you speak to a lot of youth, which is amazing to do that, Ky'shawn. And Ky'shawn also has a pretty large family and stuff, and I'm sure you helped influence your younger clan as well. But when you made that decision to go, because now kids have choices, right? You can go to a charter school. My wife teaches for Principal Academy, which is a really good school.
And one of my clients.
Oh, are they?
Yes,
there you go.
are.
And it's a great school, and I see what they're doing there, because maybe mainstream high school isn't for you, or there's opportunities like ACIT present.
Absolutely.
And now
one of my clients as well.
Oh, good. And when we honored Phil Gunther yesterday, as you probably know, for MBCA, who runs that. And then you made the decision to go to Charter Tech. Now, I know a lot about Charter Tech because my friend Bubba Mack, his wife, started that school, right? So the whole history there, I was very involved with. I used to go and guest teach there once in a while and do things to help them out whenever I could. And I was always enamored by them. We got about 2 minutes before our break, but was that life-changing for you? And would
Absolutely.
you encourage people, other students, just don't do what you think you have to do? There's choices.
Absolutely. Charter Tech is a great school. One of the things I would say is being prepared for the real world. I mean, a lot of times when we go to school, a lot of kids feel that they have to go to school because it's a mandate, right? But at the end of the day, when you go to Charter Tech, you get these real life experiences that just never leave you. And when I went to Charter Tech, a lot of those things never left me. I mean, I got certifications, college level courses while I was in school that made me want to continue, and it prepared me for what I am doing today. I have never stopped doing what I've been doing in high school. I just got better at it. And I met new people, and I've continued to do great things with just the foundation that I got at Charter
And like
Tech.
you said, you had 2 majors. You were able to focus on the things that you wanted to study. Not
Absolutely.
necessarily. Of course, you have to do your general stuff, but they allowed you to focus on music.
Yes, sir. Music,
Or
instrumental
IT.
music,
Right.
and IT. I was doing that in high school. So I was freshman coming into high school, and I made that decision that I wanted to be in both things. And honestly, right after high school, I graduated, and my teacher, John Spencer at the time, introduced me to all his clients down in Margate. So that's how I got my foot
Door
in.
opening. Oh,
Yes,
wow.
sir.
All right, we'll be right back. Ky'shawn Wyman, right after ABC.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump marking 100 days in office, touting his policies on the economy, saying tariffs will not lead to inflation. It comes as consumer confidence in the economy slumped to its lowest since the COVID pandemic. Consumers having growing concerns over the impact of tariffs. ABC's Alexis Christoforous has more.
About a third of the people in this survey believe that the job market will start to slow down. Companies will start to hire fewer workers in the coming months. And once Americans start to feel uncertain about their own jobs, that's when you start to see a big pullback in spending. We haven't seen it yet.
A federal judge in Newark today ruling he could retain jurisdiction over Columbia grad and pro-Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil's case, giving his bid to remain in the U.S. another legal round. Khalil was arrested by immigration and custom agents and taken to a detention center in Louisiana where he was slated to be deported. And stocks edged up today, bolstered by better than expected earnings reports. This is ABC News.
It's the Broadleys Longport Media Weather Center.
It is very warm and windy early this evening with temperatures mostly in the 70s. Expect partly cloudy skies later tonight. It will stay breezy tonight with temperatures falling to the 60s later this evening, and will stay mild in the 60s through tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is the last day of April, and it will feel more like summertime tomorrow. Expect a mix of sunshine and clouds. It will be hot on Wednesday with high temperatures in the 80s in the afternoon. We'll stay warm through the rest of the work week, maybe a little cooler on Thursday. We warm up again Friday with some rain in the forecast Friday into Saturday. In the Broadleys Longport Media Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Alexis Richler.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text RAPID to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text RAPID to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text RAPID to 200-300. That's RAPID to 200-300. RAPID to 200-300.
WOND Pleasantville.
Off the Press with Scott Cronick is presented by Shore Physicians Group and Ocean Casino Resort.
Off the Press with Scott Cronick on News Talk 1400 and 92.3 WOND.
All right, we are back with Ky'shawn Wyman. He is here. Go Google him and you'll find him. No question about it. All kind of reasons to go to Caesars Atlantic City, and dining is at the top of that list. Go check out Nobu, easily one of the top restaurants in the city. If you're looking for Japanese cuisine, fantastic sushi. Chef Nobu and his team have prepared an unparalleled meal that you will absolutely enjoy. And on an equal footing is Gordon Ramsay, who has two restaurants inside Caesars, including Gordon Ramsay's Pub, as well as Hell's Kitchen, which is a little easier to get in this time of year than it is in the summer. So if you're thinking about Hell's Kitchen, you've been putting it off, don't put it off much longer. Spring has sprung and summer's around the corner. Go make your reservations today at Caesars.com. All right, Ky'shawn Wyman is with us. Ky'shawn, so all right, so let's talk about now, because believe it or not, that's a lot. That time flies, huh? On the show,
flies,
it goes.
Man. Yes, it does.
So IT, let's talk a little bit about that and how it relates to our listening audience and all that kind of stuff. Because now we know about you. How can you help our audience in the sense that I think that a lot of people are lost when it comes to reading about cybersecurity and reading about how their computers are suspect and things like that. So you tell us a little bit about how you got in that world and you have a company. Talk a little bit about that part of things.
Absolutely. So IT, let me tell you what this stands for first, because a lot of people call it the IT department, right? Or AKA the know-it-all department. But what it actually is information technology.
I used to call it the reboot department because every time I worked at the press and I would call the IT department for help, they would go, "You reboot your computer?"
Right.
Yes, I rebooted my computer.
Right.
Now what do we do? Right.
Right. So that sounds like something simple, Scott. When someone say, "Hey, do you reboot your computer?" But what happens is a lot of core services that run in the background that if they stop running, the best way to do that is to reboot the computer, because it could be something just as something simple in the background that stop running in the service that you actually needed to run whatever application that you try to launch. So when you reboot the computer, those services just get refreshed. They all start up the way they're supposed to, and then all of a sudden that problem goes away. So people don't know that that's what happens. But yes, a simple reboot sometimes fixes a lot of issues because of that. But information technology, I've always been in information technology because it's something that, everybody should have a little bit knowledge of what's going on, especially now. The information technology world is the core operation to so many different places. Currently, I work as an employee at the city of Atlantic City, where we run 28 properties.
Yeah, tell people what your title is there, by the way.
I am a principal technician with the city of Atlantic City, where I handle the police cars, right? We make sure that the police cars are up and running. We make sure that the fire trucks are up and running.
So what is your job? Like, what do you do actually?
So the computers.
You're talking about it's an IT job. Okay,
absolutely.
All right, perfect. Yeah.
So the computers that the firefighters use and that the police use, we make sure that those computers are online and make sure they're functional. So
and they're all in every cop car too, right?
Yeah, every cop car, every fire truck.
Yeah.
We support the police department.
How many cars are out there?
It's a lot of cars.
A lot, right?
I mean,
it's like between fire trucks and police department, you're talking well over 100, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we support, the dispatch, all emergency management. We support a lot of different areas, all properties.
Because the police department even has towing and all that stuff, yeah.
Absolutely. So, but prior to coming to the city, I was building a lot of the online gaming studios, like for DraftKings.
Oh, wow.
So I had the opportunity to go to Europe. I've been flown to Europe and Germany, where I actually was building a lot of these online games, and the infrastructure side of it, meaning like the actual studio where these games, or where the online dealers are actually dealing. I was actually setting up project manager and making sure the infrastructure was in place for these games to be launched. So I had a lot of cool experiences with IT and every experience that you get to be outside of what you're used to makes you crave it more. Going to Europe, all expenses paid, hotel paid, everything paid for. It was like, because I'm in IT, this is happening. And those experiences you just never forget, and it makes you want to do more in that world. So in information technology, so many things that goes on, and it's a lot of things that need to be secure. So a lot of times people forget, that passwords, or they write their passwords down. And I started to love the cybersecurity side of IT. Like, okay, we have infrastructure, we have all these switches, we have all these different technical layers of information that need to be protected. To be protected, how do I protect this information? So I said, listen, let me go look up this cybersecurity and start doing my own research. So I wound up enrolling into New Jersey New Jersey is NJIT. So New Jersey Institute of Technology, where I went for a cybersecurity boot camp, and it was a 10-month program where I'm actually studying so much about, cybersecurity. But, I knew a lot of the information side of it, the information technology side of it, which is, I knew a lot of things that was being thrown at me. But then I learned about so many cool things, and I had to sign paperwork for every class that I took, because in the world of cybersecurity, you become an ethical hacker. Ethically, you can hack, but that means that person knows that you're doing it.
Right. You're helping them.
I'm helping them. So on that, I fell in love with being on the helping side of, help showing people how to secure their systems.
Right. So then you said, hey, there's a business here.
There's a business here. So
you're helping people. So obviously you deal with big companies and the city and all that stuff, but now you could take it to a small level, right? Or whatever size level you need, whether it's your office situation or whether it's your home computer, correct? So if you have an office and you need networking or whatever, you can do that kind of stuff. Or if you need security, more importantly, right?
Absolutely.
Or I don't know what you get involved in and what you don't. So do you do it all under the table or mostly security?
So I like to focus on, the technology things, but it's really nothing I can't do, Scott. But I also have a lot of a plethora of people that's out there that's also in the field. Whereas if it's something that I don't generally want to deal with, I can actually, introduce them to an individual that can.
You have a good network, yeah.
Absolutely. So when you're in this world, you have a network of individuals, but cybersecurity is really the focus, and identity theft protection, making sure that people are protecting their identity. That's one of the hugest things right now, especially with the elderly. So I'm doing seminars every Sunday at 7:00, showing what is out there and what you need to protect yourself against.
So what is this now? So is it free?
No, it's not free.
Okay, so what is this?
So this is identity theft protection. Identity theft protection is a company that.
No, I know, but I'm saying this is a seminar.
The seminar is free. Absolutely, it's a free seminar.
That's what I'm asking.
I'm sorry,
seminar.
yes.
Yeah, so the seminar is free, and when and where and how? Tell people
so
about that.
So if you go to my page, if you follow me, Ky'shawn Wyman on Facebook, I'm on there. And on Instagram, I'm actually promoting the flyer where we have a Zoom link that you can be in the comfort of your own home. You can join this Zoom and just get a synopsis of what's out there and what you're up against and how things are working now, because a lot of people just don't know, and that's how they're getting taken advantage of.
They are, right? And it seems the older people particularly get preyed on. And
Absolutely.
There's people that literally will look for older people and find them easily suckered in, and that's because a lot of older people are completely technologically phobic.
Absolutely.
So, right? So how do you approach something like that, and what do you advise for people to do? Don't give any information, number one, right?
Right. The best thing is verification, right? Verifying that these people are who they say they are. A lot of times these people use scare tactics to want you to do something right away, and some people get scared thinking that they have to do so. A lot of the hacks are happening on social media, where you have a lot of these games that these people are playing and they are clicking these links. Don't click the link, hover over the link first to verify that link is where it's going, because a lot of times once you get that link, those people are taking ownership of the individual's phone, the individual's computer. They're getting people's credit card information. Believe it or not, Scott, most people use the same password for everything.
I know.
So if a hacker gains
one password,
he has them all. Especially if you're using something like Google, where you have Google managed all your passwords, right? And then you have your master password get exposed. All you need is the master password to unlock all the rest of the passwords that you.
So when your computer suggests the strong passwords, use those, right?
I highly suggest that you use a strong password,
especially if you're an Apple guy like I am, because that user password is going to be saved. I know you don't. Oh, I'm not going to remember a password like that.
Right.
That's why you use them, so that you don't remember it. But more importantly, in Apple, they'll share those with your phone and stuff, so you don't have to remember them. And is it a fallacy that Apple computers are more safe than PCs?
So that's always been a topic, and people would like to ask me that question because I worked for Apple for a long time. I actually worked as an Apple genius, where I actually supported Apple.
Okay.
No.
Do you mostly use Apples?
As a cybersecurity guy,
no,
I'll have to be biased and say no. I can hack a Windows computer. I can hack a Mac computer. It doesn't really matter. It's the protection that you need. Your layers of protection is what fights against getting compromised.
So you'll help people, no matter big or small, to try to get what they need.
Absolutely.
So is it software? What is it?
So what it is software in the background, and it is a whole company that people that monitor the things that's going on with your credit cards, the things that's going on with your driver's license, the things that's going on with your passwords being compromised, being out there in the dark web. The dark web is a real thing, and it's for $30, I can if I wanted to find out what you searched all year long, for $25, I can go on the dark web and get that information and expose it out to the world.
That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. So what am I? So all right, Ky'shawn, Ky'shawn, I want to. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes, sir, Ky'shawn.
I want to make sure that
you have identity theft protection.
What am I gonna do when I hire you? So, what are you going to do for me?
So what I do is I introduce these individuals to identity theft protection. With the identity theft protection, it has antivirus software that's constantly monitoring your machine. It has you can put your debit cards in, so it monitors your transactions and makes sure that the transactions are real, and it gives you alerts in real time. Hey, did you use your driver's license in North Carolina? No, I've been in Jersey all day long. What's going on here? 9 times out of 10, when somebody actually joins the program for identity theft protection, they've learned that they've been hacked and compromised, but years ago. So I had an individual sign up about a couple weeks back, and she traveled to California twice. As soon as she got signed up with identity theft protection, and these, what they do is they look at everything that's going on, but they also give you the assurance. They give you up to $1 million assurance, and if something was to happen, they help you restore your identity.
Right,
and that's where people get lost. When they get compromised, they don't know where to start.
So you come to my home and my office, and you're going to look at what's going on, and then you're going, or are you just basically installing what I need, or what? Or talk to me, or do you even have to come to my house? Or are you going to do things remotely? Talk to me about the business.
There's so many. Initially, the conversation I like to have face to face with the individual.
Okay.
Because I want to learn about them. I want to learn about their activity. What are they using? Because before we have that conversation, we don't know what there is that we need to protect. We can look at the Wi-Fi to make sure that the passwords are right. Most people in our area, I would say, South Jersey area, has Xfinity. By default, a lot of these passwords is the phone number, or it's a default password that nobody ever changes. So knowing that, being on the other side, on the ethical side of hacking, that's out there. So a lot of times, if somebody's home and they have a router that has the default password, somebody can literally sit outside their house and watch everything that they're doing as far as network traffic. So there's a lot of things that everybody's not going to need the same thing. So it's kind of hard to put out paint a picture of what one individual would need. But we talk about the needs of what that individual needs for identity.
Well, that's a great way to put it. So you meet them, you figure it out. Now, I think people are obviously like, well, this has got to be crazy expensive. But is it?
No, it's really not.
Okay.
You're talking...
And think about what you're saving in the long run, just in time and aggravation. But I think a lot of people are just like, well, that's BS or whatever, or that's going to take too long or whatever. But it's not. It's
so quick.
Yeah.
I'm talking about identity theft protection. You have a program where it's like $34 a month, or you can pay $289 for the year. Like myself, because I understand the world that I'm in and I know what's out there.
Right.
I have identity theft protection. I pay $289 for the entire year.
Right.
But
that covers multiple computers or one.
That covers the plan that I got was for individuals, so it covers one. But
I'm saying if I have a laptop and a desktop, I need both, right? Okay.
Well, that program allows you to have it installed on.
It will cover
machines.
both. Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. So I don't need both. I don't have to pay twice that.
It's a plethora of different things and tools that comes with identity theft protection, but just putting it out there that it needs to happen.
But what is the biggest mistake that people make? Is it weak passwords? Is it not?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The thing is, so many people throughout our lifetime, we sign up for so many different things. We meet so many different places. We meet so many different people that we share information with that we shouldn't share information with, right? Yeah. And we share so much on social media. That is a hacker's. What's the best word for it? If social media is a hacker's playground,
right?
Because I can learn
like
so much about a person.
Your world, right?
I can learn so much about a person in 10 minutes, right? I know what school their kid went to. I know their email address. I know their first and last name. I know what they're thinking. The first thing Facebook asks you is what's on your mind, and people really tell you what's on their mind. So
we got to take a break, and then we're going to come back for our last segment. But Ky'shawn Wyman is with us. Go Google him, and you can find out all the stuff you need to do. But don't put off cyber protection, whether it's with Ky'shawn or somebody else, because before we take a break, tell people a nightmare story about someone who didn't have a protection and what happened to them. Because I could tell you one. I could tell you many.
right? It's in the cyber world, right? You have something called ransomware. Ransomware is when an individual takes ownership of someone's data, encrypt that data, and say, "Hey, give me $1 million in order to get this information back." So they say, "Hey, for this amount of money, we give you a key that allows you to unlock your files and you can have access again." As you know, Ventnor has been hacked about 3 times. That's public knowledge, right? So this is home for us, right? That's my neighborhood, right? So these are people, it's schools that's getting hacked. It's MGM was hacked, right? It's a lot of people that's being hacked.
Caesars, MGM, yep.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that's surrounding us that's being hacked. So a nightmare story is when I was working with a company and somebody opened up an email thinking that it was an email that was intended for them, and they clicked on the link and they took ownership of their computer, which only held all the original files to the company that, was the start of the company. That was the guy, he was looking for like good luck. So that laptop was where he started his business. So that's pretty much where he kept everything.
Wow.
And they took ownership of his computer and they backed it up, but erased it from his side. So they say, hey, in order for you to get this backup back, this is how much it's going to cost.
And that's the other thing. People should don't back up their computers, which is
don't.
a crazy thing too, right? So,
Absolutely.
So that's something you could help people with as
Absolutely.
well, right? All right. So again, also email again, Ky'shawn?
That's going to be Wyman, W-Y. So Whiskey, Yankee, Mary, Alpha, Nancy, Karate, Yankee, Sam, Hotel, Alpha, Nancy.
I don't know if that's helping. Yeah, Ky'shawn, Ky'shawn, and go ahead.
Yep, KYSHAWN@gmail.com.
There you go. Perfect. And then, so music, IT, cybersecurity, he can help you. And, you're such a great storyteller, but we'll get you back and talk more about stuff. But when we come back, we'll wrap it up. We can talk about music real quick, or it's your forum. You can do whatever you want. But don't put off cybersecurity. People put it off. Right?
Put it off
and then before you know
late.
it, yeah. In fact, I'm one of them, and I think we're going to talk. All right,
we're definitely going to talk, Scott.
All right, we'll be right back.
Well, I'll take whatever I want, and baby, I want you. You give me something I need.
Off the Press with Scott Cronick continues on News Talk 1400 and 92.3 WOND.
Come on and do what you do. I can't get enough of your love.
All right, we're back live right here on Off the Press with Scott Cronick. Hope that everyone is enjoying it. Don't forget Ocean Casino Resort. They are doing so much. $50 million they are spending this summer to renovate all of their rooms and suites that haven't been done yet. They have 2 new restaurants coming from Steven Starr. The names and concepts will be announced very soon. They have a brand new La Scala's Fire, a casual Italian restaurant that they are going to open very, very soon. They have a brand new miniature golf experience and bar scene that they are going to probably by July open up. And then finally, they have a new retail store by Sammy Sweetheart of Jersey Shore fame. For more information on all these things, what do you got to do? You got to go to theoceanac.com. All right, we have about 5 minutes. Ky'shawn Wyman is with us. You can go search his name, KYSHAWN. Wyman, W-Y-M-A-N, and you'll find all the stuff, including IamYoungHitta, his alter ego, which is his DJ name. And let's start there real quick. Anywhere that you're going to be performing that people can come see you?
Sure. I mean, I got a lot of dates in May. So I'm going to be at Showboat. I've been with Showboat for years now.
Are you every Sunday, or how does that?
I'm not every Sunday. No.
Okay.
So what it is I do a lot of events for them. So like a lot of college parties. So pretty much I'm their preferred vendor. You do,
yeah, right. Yeah, so you do a lot of private events for them.
I do a lot of private events for them, but I also do the water park near the summertime. But throughout the winter, when it's a little slower in the summertime, I'm doing a lot of the events. So anytime they need a DJ, they contact me, and I even send myself or someone from my agency, Hit Nation Empire, and I send the DJ over there, make sure they match the event, and that's how we've been rocking.
You have a
for
lot
years.
of DJs working
Yes,
for. That's great.
So I have a lot of different DJs, you know.
And you could accommodate any kind of event
kind of
and any
event.
kind of music, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's hardcore hip hop and rap to 70s disco, right?
Yep.
You can do
I've
it.
done it. You've seen me do it.
I've seen you.
We do karaoke. We do visual DJing. Where we do, where we do a setup where we can actually DJ, and you see the music video switching at the same time. People love the karaoke. The karaoke
Has that been a
is
huge
great.
thing for you guys? That's great. Yeah, and you bring the screens and everything, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And proms, we do a lot of proms. We're doing Atlantic City prom coming up on the 29th of this month.
Okay.
Of May. I got 3 dates for Showboat, so you probably find myself there with some other DJs I'm gonna have from the Hit Nation Empire Agency. But yes, man, I got some things coming up with the IBF, which is the International Boxing Federation. In September, we got Atlantic City Boxer Hall of Fame, where I'm the executive director of production, video and audio and video production. So I'll be working a lot over at Hard Rock. We've been at Hard Rock the last couple of years, where we've been putting on some great shows, man. So I actually provide the music, but also run the big screens and run the whole show from the background. So
Wow.
There's a lot of things that I do, man.
You're staying on top of it, so it's a lot. All right, we have a minute.
Sure.
Go ahead, do your thing.
So, guys, one of the things I want to leave you with is, protect yourself, eat good, drink a lot of water. It's going to be hot this summer, but make sure you follow me on Instagram at IamYoungHitta, and that's HITTA. Or just type my first and last name into Google, and you choose the platform you want to follow me on. It's KYSHAWN, last name WYMAN, and my email address is WYMANKYSHAWN@gmail.com.
Ky'shawn, we'll get you back, right?
Sure,
and
absolutely.
learn more about this stuff, especially if there's something topical when it comes to cybersecurity and stuff. We'd love to have you. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks for having me, man.
All
It's
right.
been a blessing.
We'll be right back. We're going to talk Night of 300,000 Meals at the food bank right after this.